Setup instructions. This module explains how to set up the DS2500Q digital TV QAM analyzer. Shown is a list of these functions and settings. From the home screen, select the F3 or setup key, then select the setup icon on the screen. You'll notice that each icon has a number listed in its upper left corner. This allows you to select an icon by pressing the number on the keypad rather than touching it on the screen. This is helpful when wearing gloves. You could also use the stylus that is attached to the carrying case to make selections on the screen as well. The About screen is shown after selecting the setup icon. This shows you information such as the serial number, system and software versions, calibration date, MAC address, and so on. There is a second page in this tab as indicated by the 1 of 2 shown in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Pressing the right arrow brings you to the second page, which shows the installed options. A check mark in the Enable column means that the option is installed and enabled. If you purchase other options in the future, you would enter the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this screen, which brings up a box to enter the option code given to you by Deviser when you purchase the option. The next tab is the General tab. Press F2 to go to the General Setup page. Note the choices listed on the left side of the screen. The up and down arrow allows you to highlight the setting page needed. Network settings. Displayed on the right window is the network information. Pressing the Enter or checkmark key will allow you to make changes in the network setting window. Connect a Cat5 or Cat6 cable in the port on the side of the unit. If the DHCP box is selected, the network settings will be automatically acquired. If you'd like to enter the settings manually, highlight the DHCP box using the right or left arrow keys and press Enter to uncheck the box. You could also make a selection by touching the corresponding area on the touchscreen. Using the right arrow key will highlight the byte numbers to manually enter. Once you've entered the needed numbers, highlight the Save button using the right arrow key and press Enter. You could also choose Save by tapping it on the screen. Pressing the back key returns to the setting selections. Display and battery. This page contains power saving settings to help extend the battery life in addition to listing the internal temperature of the instrument. Auto power off. This setting shows the amount of time the unit will stay on without any user input. When enabled, the unit will power off to preserve the battery in the selected amount of time. The choices are 3, 5, 10, or 30 minutes. You can also disable this feature. Backlight off. Pressing the right arrow key advances the cursor to the backlight off setting. When enabled, the backlight will shut off to preserve battery power in the selected amount of time. The choices are 3, 5, 10, or 30 minutes. You could also disable this feature. Brightness. Pressing the right arrow key advances the cursor to the brightness setting. Here you can adjust the brightness of the screen. Note that a brighter screen will drain the battery faster. Machine temp. This area shows the internal temperature of the instrument. No user entry is needed. Pressing the back key brings us back to the settings selections. Date and time. This page allows you to set the instrument's internal clock. The right and left arrow key will highlight each entry area, and the up and down key will change the settings. The uppermost field area allows you to change the date format. Note that the time is in 24-hour format. Language. Here you can select the language for all text instructions and data. Currently, English and Chinese are supported. User management. When enabled, this allows you to edit or add users for the instrument. This is helpful for identifying the user for reporting purposes. The user ID list is a sequential number to choose from. The user name, ID, and company can all be entered. You must restart the system for changes to take effect. Factory reset. Pressing the check mark or OK key will reset the instrument back to factory status. User profiles, saved measurement data, and current firmware version will remain intact. The next tab is the Measure tab. Select it by pressing the F3 key. The selections are shown on the left side of the screen. Level unit. Highlighting level unit on the left and pressing Enter will allow you to select one of the measure modes on the right. Press the up or down arrow key to select the preferred unit of measure and press the Enter key. TP compensation. Test point compensation allows you to automatically factor in losses from test points, probes, or cable test leads. Typical CATV active equipment found in the field has a 20 or 30 dB down test point. Also, some test probes or long test leads may have losses that you want to compensate for. Each of the 5 selections allows you to enter a value for the test point and probe, or cable, or both. When the TP compensation function is enabled at the top, select one of the 5 choices that matches what you're measuring in the field. The selection will appear at the top of the status bar on the meter in yellow. Limit Edit. This page allows you to set limits for measurement tests. When set, the instrument will display a pass or fail based on the information entered. There's 9 default measurement areas you could configure along with 7 customizable ones. The defaults are amplifier, end of line, ground block, head end, high-speed data, line extender, node, set top, and tap check. The threshold values for the individual metrics can be selected, unselected, and edited. Enable or disable the limit. Select the limit you want to edit. You can enable or disable each limit parameter. To edit the value, press the F4 or Edit key. This will bring up the value to edit. Now these limit tests are available during measurement readings. Adaptive equalizer. For almost all cases, this setting should remain in the long taps mode. The long taps mode works better to suppress ISI and co-frequency interference. Short tap setting is for lower level QAM carriers in a fully loaded CATV system. Cal Touch. This option lets you calibrate the touchscreen. Follow instructions to touch the cross points in all 4 corners.